Well, 3 hard-hunted sites and another full pouch. Well, welcome to Finding America. It is really nice to see you here. Now, one of my all-time favorite things to do whenever I get a new metal detector is to take it to ground that I have pounded in the past. Now, I did that with the Minelab Equinox 800 several years ago, and I took it to ground that I had really hit hard with my Minelab E-Track, and I was blown away that I was finding a whole bunch of stuff that I missed before. And I also did that with the Minelab Equinox 900. I took it to those very same sites, and I was amazed at the things I was pulling from the ground. And now, I'm having a blast watching the Minelab Manticore bring those very same sites back to life yet again. Well, this past weekend, I ended up taking my Minelab Manticore to 3 hard-hunted sites of mine. And the first one you're about to see is a very old house dating back to the late 1800s. Now, I've made quite a few videos from there, found some amazing things. I have hunted this hard. As a matter of fact, the last time I was there, I was with Chris, and we both left without finding anything. Now, things have changed a little bit at this property. It isn't being kept up quite as well as it used to. Matter of fact, it's quite overgrown. But the winter's here, and the grass has died down a little bit. So I thought, let me go ahead and see if the Minelab Manticore might be able to find a few things somewhere on the property. And as I found out, it was definitely up to the challenge. Well, some of you may recognize this place. I've hunted this place a lot in the past. You have to pardon, there's a bit of construction on a house across the street. But it is pretty overgrown. Couldn't even touch this until the winter when it finally died down enough. But I have found amazing things in this yard, and we have pounded this yard. Chris has been out here, I mean, just every inch of this yard. And I'm over here in this little front yard, and I found a few coins here and everything, but went over and over it, and I thought, you know what, let's bring the Manticore and see what happens. This is my first signal. I mean, just God's honest truth, first signal. Give me a nice high tone. Give me like a 66. There's some iron in the ground. And said it was still in the hole, so I gave it a pop, and check this out. Silver dime. Right off the bat. I can see it from here. It's a merc. And I found one merc in this part of the front yard before. And I can't believe it. It is absolutely insane. This is one of the most hard hit spots I had last year, or the year before, because we were finding so much. And it looks like I have a 19, you can probably see it better than I can. I think it's a 44. Look at that. Beautiful condition. Philadelphia mint. Is that not crazy? If you're going to start a hunt off, let's start it off this way. Well, even though this place is overgrown in the yard, I mean, look at the grass here. It's a nightmare trying to get down in it. But alongside the house, this was all sticker bushes and everything, and it's really died down right now. So I've never actually been able to get in here really well. And so I started hunting it, and I got a nice high tone, 79. You're not going to believe this. If you saw last week's video, or the weeks before, I'm trying to remember, but I found a razor blade loader for a safety razor. And believe it or not, I think I just found another one this week. And these are my, the last one was the very first one I ever found, and now I found another. Crazy. So I'll get that cleaned up and get you a better look at it, but I think that's where the US patent numbers are. And very cool. 2 in a row. Well, this poor old house has definitely seen better days. But I tell you, it's been such a place to metal detect around over the past couple years. I found so much back here. Cross cannons, World War I era, a World War I patriotic watch fob. Got a Ben Franklin back here in the thickets. Franklin half, and I got that the very first Tennessee Game Wardens badge back there too. Dates back to the teens. So I have pounded this place, you know. I haven't brought the 900 out here, but this is back when I had the 800. And here's something that I'm just really surprised. I got a nickel signal here with a bunch of iron, but it was getting the nickel, and I pulled out a 1969 Jefferson. And then I swung the coil after filling the hole, and bam, got another nickel signal. Again, surrounded by iron, but it came through just fine. And this one is going to be a 1947. So it just shows you, you know, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been over this area, and I've already gotten like 4 coins. One was on edge, another one was next to a bunch of aluminum. This was infested with nails, so hey, pretty cool. There could be something old still hiding in here. And yeah, it's kind of a new lease on life for this spot. Well, that's where I got the nickels, and I just came down here and got a 37, and it gave me a long smear on the image tracer, so I knew it was going to be a longer item, and sure enough, look at there. That's an old table knife handle. Pretty cool. I don't know if I'll have anything on it when I clean it, but you know, geez, it was right there, and about 6 inches. So very cool. I am definitely buckling down here. I just working the outer edges of this thicket here, and got a 15-17 signal. I've been over this area, I don't know, tons of times, and I thought, well, let me dig this up. It's like 15 to 17 signal. It just sounded good, and check it out. It's nothing crazy, but it got my curiosity up. It's some kind of an old screw cap, and it has some kind of a logo inside a triangle here. I definitely would not call this a very recent piece. It's definitely got some age to it, so I'll get it cleaned up when I get back, but I wanted to show it to you as I found it, and hopefully it turns out to be something interesting. I was chasing a decent little high tone right here, and then it sort of disappeared, and I was fishing around, and I think it was caused by this, a little connector, a little wiring terminal. So I thought, okay, well, and then I noticed something rolled out of the side of the hole, and check it out. It looks like I had a nice little bonus find, a marble. It's been a while. I haven't even cleaned it off. Ooh, look at that. Wow, that's pretty sharp. Not too shabby. Look at that thing. Huh, that's unusual. It's that one splotch of bright green. Oh, that's neat. Definitely like that. So, that was worth chasing that target. Well, I eventually just had to give up on that property. During the summer when I drove by, I saw the grass was like 3 feet high. And even though it had died down during these cooler months, all it had done was laid over and added about 6 inches to the top of the ground. It was no fun fighting that grass, so I decided I needed to move on. I still had a couple hours to hunt. Now I decided to go to my favorite test part, the one that you saw me in last week's video, and I found some really nice things there. So I headed over there. I wanted to hit it again with the Manticore, but this time I was going to do it with the M8 small coil. Well, I wanted to come back to the park with the M8 coil, and after digging a ton of shotgun shells, beaver tails, all kinds of garbage, got myself a nice signal that's been hiding for quite some time. I got it out from underneath some roots. It's about 6 inches down. Give me a 51 on the Manticore, and you have to pardon the noise, there's people working here. And it was giving me a beautiful round signature right on the conductive line. So I was thinking maybe it was like a zinc or something, but no, check this out. I just popped it out on the drop cloth. I got an Indian head. Can't believe it. It looks like this one might be in good shape. Oh yeah, look how green it is. Alright, let's pop this. Oh yeah, this is going to clean up pretty decent, I think. Ooh, 1902. Sweet. Oh, that's awesome. Been a while since I got an Indian head at this park. And there you go. Hopefully it's focusing. But isn't that awesome? 1902 at this super hard hit park. I am definitely happy with that one. Just a little bit further and I got a nice 46 signal. I dug down under this massive root, finally got it out, and I recognize this right away. This is a fastener that was often used on Model T roadsters for the convertible tops. They had other functions too, but often used on those. So very cool. It's going to be like 1908 to 1927. Great find. Well, we have yet another mystery solved this week, thanks to all of you watching last week. You might recall the strange shield-shaped piece of metal that I found in last week's episode. Well, luckily for me, Mary Runke was watching that episode, and she was the very first to let me know that that piece was actually the front grille off of a 1930s Marx or Wyandotte toy truck. So a huge thank you goes out to Mary and everyone else that chimed in to help make last week's mystery find this week's mystery solved. Well, the M8 is having a ball out here in this park, and I just got a 26 signal. It sounded really nice, smack on the conductive line, nice little round signature, about 5 inches down. And it wasn't really too deep, so I just scooped it out, and look at there. There's a nickel. I don't know, it could be a Jefferson, not sure, but just the fact that there's a coin here is pretty awesome. So let's find. I don't know if it's a Jefferson. Yep, it is. I will definitely take it though, seriously, because this place has been pounded and pounded. It's pretty awesome seeing these coins come out of the ground. I don't even think it's an early one, but hey, that was a nickel, 5 inches deep. I don't know why I hadn't got it before, but I didn't, but now I have. Well, I think I have something pretty decent on my drop cloth. After digging close to 20 old shotgun shells from the early 1900s, but every time I got one, I was like, well, there's one I missed before, and there's got to be a coin hiding among these things too. And this time I got a 21-22, and I'm like, ooh, that's a little low, even for a nickel. But you know, the iron's been dragging the signals down, so it gave me such a good tight signal. I was like, I'm just gonna go for it anyway. So I'm glad I did, because yeah, I got a nickel. Check it out, sitting right there. Hopefully you can see it. My luck, no, it's a little thin, so I don't think it's a Jefferson. B of E nickel. Ooh, I think it is, but I think it's also kind of worn. Nice. Let me get a little pants wipe here. See if I can see anything. Yeah, it's a V nickel, but it's pretty worn. Tell you what, let me work on it a little bit out here. and see if I can get some detail and maybe a date, and I'll be right back. But very happy to see that. I'd say it's about 7 inches, so not too shabby. Well, the good news, it's definitely a V-nickel. Bad news, it's a little hard to make out, and the date is right down here, and it's a bit crusty, but I can clearly see a wreath and the Roman numeral 5 on the back. So hopefully I can get something off of it, but nonetheless, it is another old coin out of this pounded park. That thing's doing awesome. I probably dug 40 targets, most of them pull tabs and shotgun shells, but I did get a Indian head and a V-nickel, so can't complain. So the very next morning, I just wanted to get back out there. Honestly, I am having so much fun using this Minelab Manticore. I just want to get out every chance I can. So I decided, I just had to go back to a great place, the Massive Permission. Although it's been hunted hard, it still has signals, although they're quite a bit harder to get now. But all I wanted to do was get out there, have some fun, digging some plugs, finding something old, and just putting more hours on the Manticore. Well, my next one gave me a 54, really solid, repeatable both ways, and it was about 4 inches down. Pinpointer said it was in the plug, and there it is. It was pretty cool. I always like digging this kind of thing up, and it's kind of the norm at this location at the Massive Permission. The kid was definitely into the Wild West, and here's another piece. They hammered to a toy cap gun, so very cool. It definitely goes with the theme of things that I find here when it comes to toys, and happy to have this one. Well, this next one was ringing in at a 28, 29, just a solid signal, and I dug down, said it was still in the hole, and I played around in there with my digger, and I think I've got a spoon right there. So I grabbed the camera, let's pull it out and see what it is. Very cool. Looks like a silver plate. And that, ooh, what in the world? Look at there. It's got some type of monogram on it. Let's see. It's not your typical looking one either, more industrial. UNCO. Huh. Wipe it off a little bit more. Well, that is an odd one, isn't it? UN Company. Well, it's older than the United Nations, I believe, so rules that out. Not sure what that is. It's obviously a piece of silverware used at a company or a school, or could be UN College. Very cool. I don't know what to make of that. I'll have to get it cleaned up some more when I get home and think about it. But that's an awesome piece. Well, I tell you, the 2D, the image tracer here, it really does come in handy, I tell you. I was getting a 41 signal, right in the 40s, 41, 47. It was giving me the red bar under the number, which tells you that it's probably iron. But it was giving me an interesting signature. It was kind of curved and long, and once I got it out, I see what it is. It was actually showing me, as I passed over it, this half of an old horseshoe. And I'll put that image up right now so you can see it. But it's right here. This part of the horseshoe was what I was running over, and you'll see it right on the screen. So let me go ahead and finish pulling it out. There you go. Yeah, it's a little bent. but darn cool, and dating back to the early 1900s, late 1800s of this neighborhood. So very cool, and really neat how it showed me the exact shape of what was in the ground below my coil. The Manticore is a very, very cool machine. Well, next thing was giving me a 68 to 70. About 6 inches down. I've already cleaned it up, but just thought I'd show it to you. And a nice little weedy 1945 from the Philadelphia Mint. Well, I double checked the hole before I filled it in, and it rang off again. And check it out, 2 more Wheaties in the same hole. 52 with the Denver Mint mark and a 44 Philadelphia. Not too shabby. Only wish there was a little bit of silver in there with them, but I will definitely take that little 3 for 1. Well, this one was giving me a 50. Nothing rare or anything, but I always like digging these up. It's a Colgate Ribbon Dental Cream, an old tube from the 50s. So, yeah, might even go back a little further. So, pretty cool little item. Just thought I'd share that one with you. Well, next thing was give me a 32. Now those have mostly been pull tabs and things like that, but I dig everything. It's amazing how many good things fall in the trash numbers. And here's a good example again. 32 in the plug, about 4 inches down. And it looks like I have a button. I just popped it loose out of the plug and grabbed the camera after I saw it. And I don't know. It's got something on it. I'm gonna give it a pants wipe and see if I can get it cleared up here. No, I'm gonna have to let me get this cleaned up a little bit and we'll see what it is, but it's definitely an old denim or overall button from the 20s to 40s. Well, there it is, and as a lot of you already know, I love finding these. There's so many different varieties of denim workwear and overall buttons, and this is one I've never found before. Brand new one for the collection. I think it says double wear, and it might have a picture of a tractor in the center, but it's spelled D-U-B-B-L-E, and I think it's W-A-R-E on the bottom. I'll know a little more when I can get it cleaned up later, but that's awesome. Brand new variety I've never found before. That definitely makes my day. Well, this is a very cool hole because it's always a good hole when there's something to learn from it, and there's a pretty good find in it as well. Now, when I ran over this, I was getting a 43, which usually a pull tab. But I dig everything, even in trashy areas like this. So much cool stuff hiding. And I dug down and I got this. Now, that's a big nail. That's almost a spike. And it was sitting on top of something else because when I ran my coil back over the hole, I got a 90. And I was like, wow, what the heck is that? You know, normally that's going to be a $50. So I kept digging down, and check this out. I haven't pulled it out yet, but I can see enough of it to where I know what it is. I'm going to get you down in the hole here. That is an early, about 1910 era Pond's face cream jar lid. And I just left it down here, so we're going to pull it out. Yep, definitely is. I could kind of see the design. Oh, look at that. The wiping pretty nice. That was underneath that nail. This could have been a silver $50 all day long with a 90, 91 signal. But that one nail, this, of course it's a substantial nail, but even a regular size nail is going to drag the numbers down. And this one cut the numbers in half, from a $50 to a pull tab signal. So something to think about when you're out there and you're tempted just to high tone everything. You know, dig one of these questionable holes and You might be surprised what you find. Well, this is a hole I dug just after that Pond's jar lid, and this really kind of drives the point home. Now this one gave me a 37 mangled up pull tab. So right there I got a 32, turned out to be a very cool old denim overall button. A 43 got me a Pond's face cream jar lid from 1910, and a 37 here revealed a pull tab. All three of those signals would be considered pull tab range, and 2 out of 3 had very interesting things in the holes. So food for thought, and something to think about your next time out. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this one, and if you still want to watch more Finding America, just stick around to the end of this video. I have a link there that will take you to another awesome episode, and I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy watching this one. And don't forget, it's history that makes a find a treasure. And I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.